All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of CalChiro Live. This is Dr. Phil coming to you. I just made it back in time from the airport. Thanks for joining us. We'll let people start logging on here just a little bit, make a few announcements for everybody as we get going. We are going to have a guest host today. Hopefully that will help me with the choppiness of the video and that kind of thing. But we'll get you going here shortly. Just a couple of quick announcements. We have the women's master class coming up in a short week, I believe. There it is. Perfect. The women's master class is coming up. In addition to that, at the beginning of the year, we have our women's retreat coming up. That should be a fun, exciting event everybody's looking forward to. So if you are inclined to spend some really quality time with Dr. Barb Eaton and Anita Hawk, that will be a great opportunity to really mastermind and workshop together and help build your practice. So hopefully you'll take that opportunity. Just wanted you guys to know we will certainly be busy in the next couple of months planning some events for you in the fall and the spring. I know I'm meeting next week with Dr. Dan Bronstein to bring our pediatric event back here next year. We haven't quite settled in on a date. We do have our fall symposium scheduled. That is, or our Seaside symposium scheduled. I believe that's March 20th. Hopefully we got a QR code for that one. We'll see what's there. March 20th and 21st. That's awesome. So those are all coming down the wire. We have our strategic planning meeting as a board coming up. If you've got any thoughts about the direction of the organization, those kind of things, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can bring them to the strategic planning meeting. I know there's other board members as well that will be more than willing to talk with you about where you want the direction of the organization to go and where you think it should go. So we're looking for your feedback. Please try to reach out to us. But I wanted to bring today's guest on. Let me get him highlighted here. There he is, Dr. Ben Griffes. How are you today, sir?
Doing fine. Yourself?
Good. Perfect. You can hear me okay. Good. I don't see Dr. Chiropractor on camera yet. I don't know if he's got his camera going. I could try to let him in. His screen is black, so hopefully he'll be able to get that figured out. But Ben, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, and we'll get going here today.
Okay. Well, real quickly, I've been a chiropractor for 35 years, practiced in Tarzana and Thousand Oaks, and about beginning of the century, I decided to take all the handouts that we've gotten from all the different sources, and I made a book, Stretching for Life. So that's the original edition for 24 years, and finally thought, there's a lot more things to do, and I've learned a lot more stretching and strengthening. So I'm, then created a new book, an updated book, Stretching for Life. You see that. But basically, I made it as simple as possible. I tried to say, okay, do you have a few minutes to stretch? Can you spend 30 seconds to get your patients up and moving around, for even not only for ourselves, but for our patients in particular? Because what do you see? Every time a patient comes back, and they go, it's still tight, it's still tight. But you realize the way they sleep, the way they sit, how many of your patients are in your waiting room doing this, looking at their phone, or standing and looking with this text neck business? How many of us sitting all day? This is why it is imperative to stretch, imperative to have some strengthening. So basically, I put together the Stretching for Life book to make it as low tech as possible. You don't need any equipment. And so that's what I've been doing. So one of the main things that you all are dealing with, that we chiropractors are dealing with, is these people who are just sitting all day. You know, they say, I'm busy, 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 but they move from their home to their car, to their office, to sitting for lunch, and then they're back sitting, and they're back in the car, and they're back home. So where's the movement? Where's any challenge of muscles and stretching out of connective tissue? So that's what I'm doing. So you want to ask me some questions, or how do you want to go about it here, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, tell us first of all, like how people. I see the QR code there. You can tell us how people can get the book. Otherwise, if they don't want to scan the QR code.
Okay, they can do that, or they can just go. The QR code takes you to BenGriffesDC.com, and there's two versions. There's the
Oh, it looks like we lost him. We got to add him back to the stream. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. However,
we lost you there, Ben. So let's start over.
Okay, that's fine. Right now, my website is the servers for Dr. Multimedia. Of course, today they're having trouble, so you cannot get onto my website right at this moment.
Of course.
But you can, when you click on there, or BenGriffesDC.com, you get two versions of the book. There's the hard copy, which is, it's a soft copy with a ring bind, and then there's also an ebook that you can upload onto your computer. So they're both whatever's easiest for you. So it's very easy, very low tech. And I want to remind you that when you order, there'll be a box with special instructions. You put chiropractic, and then the publisher will tell me that a chiropractic patient or chiropractor has bought this book, and 25% goes to the PAC. So, and that's indefinite for the life of the book. It'll just go to the CPAC. So I'm happy to do that and just get this book out. So that's how you get it. Very simple. QR code, or just go to Ben Griffes.
Let's dive into some of the biggest issues that you're seeing with the aging population.
Okay. I'm sure you all see this, even with the younger population that's inactive. You're seeing people with chronic stiffness. You're seeing people with their loss of flexibility. They're stiff, they're achy. For our seniors, the poor balance. I'm seeing young 80-year-olds, and I'm seeing old 60-year-olds. And I'm sure you've seen the same thing. I have these patients coming in, they can barely get onto the table, or it's hard for them to roll over, to get adjusted. And then I have other people that are springing up and down. They're going, hey, this is cramping my golf game or my cycling. Can you just tune me up? So I'm seeing the stiffness, the lack of flexibility, poor balance. And then for some people, the sarcopenia, this loss of muscle mass. It's termed as, as a pathology, but people are doing it in their lifestyle. They're not moving, they're not challenging themselves enough, and so they're losing muscle mass. And then the functional fitness, patients who just literally can't, pick up their laundry basket, pick up their grandkids. These are things that I'm trying to get my patients to pay attention to and show them how to stretch and how to strengthen themselves, the basic core strengthening and the basic back, shoulder, neck stretches. Hi, Robert.
Hi there.
Well, talk to us a little bit about fascia too, because I know that there's a lot in your book about fascia, and I think that's an important piece of the puzzle.
Yes, you're so right about that. The fascia, is the cellophane that holds us together. We have hundreds of yards of cellophane that hold us together, and there are also fascial planes. So the fascia that's attached to the base of your skull is going down through the trapezius, through the back of your back, and then it moves and attaches to the sacrum. So when you're adjusting someone, you may notice you might be working on the sacroiliac joint, and that person says, is this connected to my neck? And you go, yeah, because then you release the right SI joint, and you're able to adjust the left occiput because there's pulling. So this fascia is holding everything together. Every muscle fiber has fascia. Then those fibers become one bundle. One bundle becomes one group of muscle, a muscle, and then all those muscles are wrapped in a group. So that's why you have hundreds of yards of this fascia, and that's where our attention goes. That's why you have adaptive shortening. People who sit or move or do something in the same position every day adaptively shorten themselves to where they no longer have the same full range of motion that they once had. And it's their fault, and it's reversible.
Ben, what are some of the ways that you recommend people either preventing or actually reversing? I think that might be more interesting, reversing those, since you find it so common in patient populations, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm sure you all see this in your patients too. I always check posture every day, every time. I'm checking the occiput, I'm checking shoulders, shoulder blades, and pelvis. And you can see that there's always some pattern of imbalance, because of right-sidedness, one side dominant. So that's going to happen. So I'm talking to my patients and I'm saying, okay, first of all, you've got to get up and move. A lot of people now have smart watches that'll say, hey, time to stand up. It's been 30 minutes, or they have something on their computer. So that's the first thing. The second thing is showing them the proper way to sit, the proper way to sleep. The people come in, they go, oh, haven't you heard? Oh, I must have slept funny. My neck is tight. I hear that every day. It's like, okay, maybe you did sleep funny, but mostly you slept in the same posture and things tightened up. So then you stand up and you go, okay, why is this so tight? Also, I had a patient the other day and he goes, I'm doing all the exercises you tell me I do stretches, but it still hurts on my right side. I said, it's not your exercise. He's blaming his exercise, but it doesn't hurt on the left side. So I'm saying, you're doing the right things. So it's something else. And he goes, well, is it washing dishes? I'm scrubbing and scrubbing. I go, your right-handedness is getting you in trouble. So we talked about strategies of him being the non-dominant side, open doors, carry groceries, do things with the weaker side so that he rests and stretches the body. So that's another strategy you can tell your patients, is to cultivate the non-dominant side. And that way it rests the dominant side and you get the stretch and strength.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about think of what here? So okay, so that's an example of kind of a daily thing. What about maybe would you incorporate like body weight training or weightlifting into it at all, or is that actually detrimental to it?
No, but I've had a lot of great mentors and coaches and trainers that I've, worked with or interviewed over the years. What I feel, and I'm seeing there's a trend toward this, is more towards the plyometrics and functional fitness and less of weightlifting, but weight training. So, for example, so where in your life do you sit and then have your biceps and all you're doing is this, except for your 16-ounce can for at the bar, you're not lifting that, but you may be lifting up a child, you may be lifting up something to put up onto a shelf. So weight training is way more important than weight lifting. So all the exercises I give to my patients include like a medicine ball or a kettlebell, where you're actually literally standing. And so you have the medicine ball, for example. So I'm going to do a squat. I'm going to lift the medicine ball up over my head, biceps and triceps. I'm getting my glutes, my back, my quads, calves. Everything is getting used as a functional fitness exercise. So that, it's a great question, Robert, that what do I propose to these people? Because they're not going to you don't sit in a chair and then do quad strengthening exercise. You're going to do squats, you're going to do lunges. So that's what I'm training to people. And they say, well, they're stretching every day, they say, but they're weak. So I give them exercises, to do morning or evening or whatever.
Nice. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you find that do you deal with the athletic community, and if so, do you find them to be pretty knowledgeable of this stuff, or they're just as maybe. What was that? Can you hear me?
While we're waiting for him to get back on, let me explain that strength and stretching are the two halves, the two sides of the same coin. You can't just stretch because a lot of times you find.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it looks like his feed is cutting in and out there, Rob. So why don't we go ahead and post this QR code one more time?
Okay.
And if people want to get a hold of the book, they can get a hold of it there. Has a lot of good information to share, it looks like, from that perspective. So I think one of the coolest things is he has offered to contribute 25% of all the sales to our political action committee. Hopefully you're familiar with our political action committee. That's something that's allowing us to go out to events and represent you. I just got back. That's why we're a little disheveled here today as far as the broadcast. Dr. Shapiro was trying to help me make it happen as I was rushing to get off of a plane, meeting with the Speaker of the Assembly. And it was an interesting event. You know, we got a long way to go in terms of educating the public about what we do. So I encourage you to, consider supporting our political action committee so that we can go out to more of these events and represent you, not even just in the legislature, in a community that doesn't understand chiropractic. That's one of the biggest takeaways I had. Oh, it looks like we have Ben back. So let's bring Ben on.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't go.
All right, Ben, we gotta get you some better internet, buddy.
Okay. The other thing we're talking about fascia, because you also see that's where the tightness goes. So a lot of people will work out, and then you know the term muscle bound. You know, these guys are building, they're doing powerlifting, but they lose their flexibility. And so what I try to get my patients to do is to be lean and mean, not just super strong without having the flexibility, because that lack of flexibility is going to affect their balance. Now, and that's another thing that, particularly with as we age, a lot of people are falling because they don't have that strength that they can't lift their feet again. I mean, they're just shuffling along. So some of the exercises in the book are actual dynamic stretches. So they're stretching, but they're moving in the stretch as opposed to a static stretch where you're just trying to stretch the fascia at that moment. So that's the one thing. But I'm really teaching patients, even in their 30s and 40s, I said that this exercise right now is going to save you from falling when you're 80. Because that ability to recover quickly and not fall is going to be a main thing. I'm sure you see the same thing. A week doesn't go by that one or two of my patients said, well, I fell last week. I know I'm shuffling. I was in the bathroom and I caught my foot on the the bath mat and I fell over. And you look at his bruise. Yeah, it's my hip and my shoulder. So that's a common thing. So working to get folks to improve their balance is really very, very important. And then I show them, to me, I'm focusing on two types of stretching. What, Phil?
Now, do you have any pictures of the content inside the book?
Yeah, I'll give you just a couple of pictures. So, just to show you, the main thing, like with core strengthening, you're going to deal with things like bird dog and side planks. Those are safe. They come straight out of Stuart McGill's Low Back Disorders book. And if you're familiar with that, when that came out in 99 to 2000, I bought that book. And so I've been doing it myself, and I'm teaching patients to do core strengthening. There's also just the basic stuff. Some of these stretches are yoga stretches, like the bird dog. Bird cat cow, where you're just doing a cat cow. You're doing an arching your back, and then you're dropping your back like an old cow, and you're just stretching with flexibility and extension. Now, here's the thing: Everybody says, "Oh yeah, I stretch every day," and they bend over and they stretch in their chair and they're doing flexion, but they've already been in flexion. Everyone needs to be doing extension every single day, at least 2 or 3 times, because when you stand and open up the chest and stretch, you stretch out the fascia that is adaptively shortening. And you have patients that come in, and here's another thing you may have noticed or not. Patients come in with tight shoulders, and they think they're tight because they're contracted, but they're tight because they're pulling. The tightness across the pecs is what's pulling and tightening up your shoulders. And a head which weighs 10 pounds is pulling for is pulling on the poor trapezius, and all that stretching and that fascia creates constant tension. So you've got to get your patients to lift their chest up, stretch the chest, relax the shoulders. That.
Well, we're losing you again, Ben. I'm sorry we weren't able to see the pictures. I'll get, we'll try to get some more information out about the book. I saw the book at, I think he introduced it to me at the Seaside Symposium or maybe the Fall Conference. Have you seen his book yet, Rob?
If I have, it's been a while. I know he's been at many events, and I'm sure he's probably brought it up before, but it's been a while.
You can get some pictures there on the QR code, kind of see what it's about. It's a book that's made for patients to utilize. It's something that you would either have them purchase or purchase for them, and then either charge them or give it to them as part of their package to care in your office or something along those lines. All of the purchases, Ben has agreed to make a donation to our political action committee, which is very generous of him. So please support Ben in his efforts to help get the information out more and more about what we're doing or what we need to do to help patients stretch, more and more. So I want to try to give away some money today. So thanks for bearing with us with our technical difficulties. Like I've said before, please like and subscribe to the channel. That really helps us in the algorithm. Hopefully, you're getting the notifications. Make sure you set your notifications as well. But I think we're ready, Tiffany, to spin the wheel, try to give away $800 today. That means 8 spins. 8 spins. Let's see if we can give away some money today. Jay Collins. Let's see if Jay Collins is here. Do you know Jay, Rob?
I do.
All right. Excellent. So it's always good when you know the people whose names reminds you that it's a real person. So you can't really see the timer today because the Stretching for Life QR code. Oh, there it is. Perfect. We've got 13 seconds for Jay Collins. Let's see if Jay joins us to collect the money today. But like I was saying, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Set your notifications. If you have not been getting text messages, you should be getting text messages when we go live. And you can simply click on the text messages. So hopefully you're getting the text messages. I don't see Jay Collins, so it sounds like we're ready to do name number 2. Raphael Sandoval. Raphael Sandoval, you are name number 2. If you aren't getting text messages, I will tell you to contact Tiffany, who's here on this stream with us. She can make sure we have your cell phone as part of your profile so that when the messages go out about the live broadcast and the opportunities to win money, you'll get the text messages just like everybody else is. You can just click one click away from $800 or 1 click away from the money. Get online with us, even if you're driving or half listening when you're in your office and that kind of thing. It's a great way to support our channel and support what we're doing. So I don't see Raphael Sandoval here. Let's do name number 3. Billy Throm. It's good to see more new names. I know there was some questioning about the validity of the randomizer in the last couple of weeks. So we've got a 3rd new name here that I've never seen before. Do you know Billy at all, Rob?
No, I don't.
Okay. How about tell us a little bit about what's happening in your district right now and all of that kind of stuff? Well, you can wait till the 30 seconds is up, and then we'll fill the time for the next 30 seconds with what's happening in your district.
Okay.
All right, we'll give Billy just a few more seconds to see if they claim the money. Doesn't look like there's a Billy Throm with us today, so I'm ready to do name number 4. Sharon Tortal. Sharon Tortal, you are name number 4. Yeah, tell us what's happening in your district, bud.
So we do have an upcoming district event. Should be slated for, I believe it's the 23rd or the 27th, with the last Tuesday of the month. And we're going to be hosting, I can't remember her name, but they're going to be speaking on stem cell and regenerative medicine. And, Dr. Sal Nolfo, the district president, he's doing a really good job of keeping on top of speaking engagements and staying connected with CalChiro Central. He's been a really great addition to the district team, and I think that he'll continue to do great things.
Nice. It looks like we don't have a Sharon with us today. That was name number 4. Let's do name number 5. Gerardo Mora Fonseca. You are name number 5. Let's see if you're here to claim your money. And if you are looking for events in your area, make sure you're checking your TWA. You should be getting that in your inbox every week. If you're not getting it in your inbox, check your promotions or your spam folder. Sometimes you've got to change the labels on there so that you make sure you're prioritizing CalChiro emails. That's how you're going to stay informed about all the things going on in your area, in the state, in your district. You can always check out the CalChiro page. We have all of the events posted there as well. Everybody should be registering for events on the CalChiro page as well. That's what's helping us really manage the CE much better. So I appreciate everyone's help in making that transition. I don't see Gerardo, so it looks like we're ready for name number 6. Susanna Shrieky, I think. Susanna Shrieky, you are name number 6. Let's see if you're here to collect your money. Is the person that's coming to your district named Dr. Anu Navani, Rob?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, man, you're going to like that. That is a tremendous presentation. We just had that in our district.
Oh.
It was phenomenal, man. The more I think about it now after listening to her presentation, moving away from sending patients that potentially need cortisone shots to either PRP or stem cells makes much more sense in the chiropractic paradigm. And from a healing perspective, all of those kind of things, I was really blown away by her presentation and just showing some of the pictures of the healing that's going on with the human growth hormone and things of that nature, and the simplicity of it, not using cortisone, all of that kind of stuff. So I think you guys will really enjoy that presentation. So I'm glad that you're going to have her out there.
Nice. That's good to hear.
Yeah. All right. I don't see Susanna, so it looks like we're ready for name number 7. Keeping me on track. Gerald Maher, you are name number 7. Gerald Maher, you're name number 7. Let's see if you're here to collect your money. Speaking of that, you guys should be checking out all of the things that's happening on the animal chiropractic front that Dr. Marissa is doing. I know that Baron Hoig, who's been helping us with our animal chiropractic initiatives, just posted a new YouTube. Maybe, Marissa, you can share that YouTube and all the different district channels. Hopefully you're seeing the things that we're posting in the district channels and on the CalChiro main Facebook page, trying to get all the information out to you on a regular basis that way as well. So I know I watched that video this morning from Baron, and it's really cool what's happening with regards to the animal chiropractic initiative. So, all right, that was name number 7. It means we got one more name to do. Name number 8 coming up. If we don't have a winner, then next week is $900. That would be Lorenzo Nunez. Let's see if you're here to collect your money. It is mind-boggling that people won't show up for the potential to win $800 to $900. I mean, I'm glad to see the folks on here that have been winners before, maybe even some multiple winners. It's incredible that you guys are, you must like money. That's what that tells me. Remember, check out the TWA. Check out the page for the events coming up in the area. We've got holiday parties coming down the wire. So there's going to be some fun stuff happening here in the last quarter for CalChiro. I don't see Lorenzo. We'll give him just another few seconds, but that means next week we are going to try to give away $900. So thanks so much, everybody, for joining us this week. And until next time.